Yo, what's up? Uh, I've not been feeling the hunkiest of dories, so I have not been streaming. Didn't do it yesterday. Didn't do it earlier today, but yeah, I'm feeling chill. Feeling chill. So what I've decided to do, one thing that I've been wanting to do, is to make the map for my Spelljammer campaign. The map being outer space in Dungeons and Dragons. So where do you start, you may ask? Frickin' anywhere you kind of want is what I'd answer. But what I want to do is I want to start with what is quote-unquote canon. What has appeared in Dungeons and Dragons material in an official capacity. And so that's not an easy thing to quite discern, is the problem. Because Spelljammer as a campaign has been, up until recently, pretty derelict. I think this really was like 23, 24 years. Good quarter of a century. There was not a single official piece of Spelljammer anything. Like it was almost a deep cut in the D&D universe, in the D&D lore. Until they brought it back. And kind of the way that they do things these days, that they sort of like release a couple pieces of material and then just kind of let the fans do whatever, and then sort of just move on to whatever. So they didn't actually, like back in the day, they used to have a thing called Dragon Magazine and also Dungeon Magazine. Like, eventually they made a difference between Dragon Magazine and Dungeon Magazine, where Dragon Magazine was more for like player material and Dungeon Magazine was more for Dungeon Master material. So they would release books and then they'd like release more books like on a setting. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can get something here. Pardon me. There's a bug on my monitor that I think I got. Hold on one more second. Hey, thanks for resubscribing. 30 months. Spooked you. Spooked you. Boo! Ah! You spooked me! Oh, I see. I see what you did there. Said boo in order to spook me. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining me. So I was just kind of going over what exactly Spelljammer kind of is. So I'll reiterate quickly. You're fine. Nice. So, I mean, really just kind of the brief history of Spelljammer is that it was created back in like, you know, Japan and EU is Nanbu. All right. Sounds cool. So it's actually, that's probably a good place to bring up our guide here. Our guide to the spheres, one might say. See though, let's see. Well, let's window capture. We'll just add this existing window capture. Make it this thing. Oh, I should have made it a little bit more careful with it, but yeah. Let's see about getting it perfect. Spread that out there. being very nitpicky as the number of pixels I want it to be from edge of my screen. That'll do. Alright, leaders all got seppuku'd. Then the assumed brother of first leader took charge, and he's a 656. Heck yeah. Alright, so 5th edition has the Spelljammer stuff that was released. I don't really think it adds too much in regards to like novel material. Like there is an adventure that came packed with the, so there was like a player's like a mini player's handbook, a mini, no, let's actually, we'll go and make it a little bit smaller. It fits a bit more with the size of that. Scooch that over a tiny bit too. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! See, the thing is, I need to make a chill playlist one of these days. This'll do. Actually, 646, but yeah. So there was a good deal of material released for Spelljammer back in the day. We're talking like, hold on, let's go to the very bottom. For all of this guys. So, okay. So this is a document made by one Paul Westermeyer, a GM Westermeyer, a quote-unquote official Spelljammer guide to the spheres. I won't read through all of this. So basically, okay, this material is not sorted by value of quality. They tend to call in spheres. So TSR and so the original owners of the original D&D folks, and then Wizards of the Coast as they kind of came over. This is, for some reason, he includes Hackjammer, which I think is quote unquote published, but it's unofficial material. So this is a document that covers every single piece of official material released for Spelljammer. I believe it came out in and this guy, I don't know when this guy actually uploaded this. But this has material all the way up from its very beginning. Or at least, I don't know if I don't think Queen of Demon Web Pits is actually quote unquote Spelljammer. It's like, yeah, we got the Demon Web, just a campaign setting for Wizard of the Coast, Dragonlance, Artur, that's interesting. When does he actually have? Oh, this is interesting. Like Netheril. Is that? I forget if that's the name of one of the empires, the ancient empire from like the 5th edition setting. Well, 4th edition setting. The quote-unquote generic setting. No, this is Other Worlds. Okay, no, pardon me. He actually organized this stuff. So Spelljammer was first released in Spelljammer AD&D Adventures in Space box set in 1989, back when it was TSR. Okay, and apparently Hackjammer, which is just kind of like a published material that's unofficial, was apparently released in 2005. But as far as official material, I believe the last thing was, it looks like the last thing was in 1996. Polyhedron. Maybe. Dragon Annual. When Hannah was talking about warlocks, skimmed over an image. When talking in the Pack of the Fiends, saying, and the ones no one cares about. So yes, there's a lot of old material here. Lockmaster cycle, which like some of these things. This is important. The official flow map, quote unquote official. So we're gonna okay. I guess where I wanted to start with making my spheres map was what is official, what is actually considered. This is the universe in D&D, which is where I don't like to completely wing it. Okay, about Yugoloths. Yugoloths are neat because they're the cheeky little middle ground. Having a Pact of the Fiend with the Yugoloth would actually be having that. I mean, that really sets it apart. You're not just, oh, it's a devil pact. I asked for a thing and the devil gave me it. Or demons, oh, they want to kill things. Man. Oh, pardon me, I'm a little phlegmy. Go off as a weapon. Oh, cool. Yeah, they can transform, right? All right. So Spelljammer. So you do understand Spelljammer, right, Om? Like, are you at least basically familiar with it, or would you like me to actually explain that? Battleoth that grows with you as you level up. Yugoloth that gives you it. Maybe a Yugoloth that is specifically triggering you into thinking something that's not. Okay. Alright, so Spelljammer was a setting that, as we saw a second ago, was first released in 89? Yes. So this is listed according to copyright date, with the exception of the Clockmaster Cycle novels, which are listed as a group at the end of the Spelljammer product. So these are novels which are canon enough? Canon-ish? I'd say canon enough. Not every entry below is cited to a specific sphere or world above. If an item appears below but has no sphere or world cited, then it provided no entries. Bibliographic citations, which have no entries, are primarily Spelljammer products included to indicate the completeness of the research. So basically, space adventures in D&D. You go between different worlds, like, let's find that map. Very important map. As you can see here, we've got realm space. This is where Forgotten Realms takes place. This is where Abir Toril is. Kryn space, which is where Kryn, the world of Greyhawk, takes place. No, I'm sorry, stupid. That's Grey space. That's where Greyhawk takes place. Kryn is where... Am I getting them mixed up? Damn it, no. Kryn is Dragonlance. Or Greyhawk, where Grey space is Greyhawk. And so these are kind of, especially back in the past, these are the three main. That's you got the triad there. We actually are given it a name. These are the three main settings of D&D. They've settled even more so on Forgotten Realms being the main setting, the quote-unquote generic setting for D&D. Yeah, so like all of the worlds exist in crystal spheres, which are, you can think of just like the boundaries of a solar system that float in nothingness, that is traversed by phlogiston, by the flow, like rivers of something or other that can get you between one or another. And so play Star Trek, play Star Wars, but D&D pretty much. All right, so crystal spheres, at least colloquially as they are called, it's like the barrier between a what do you call it? Between a quote unquote solar system and the stuff outside. Spelljammer is very unique and creative setting, but it's also one of the worst organized settings TSR produced. The fact that he just calls them TSR, that's how long ago he made this. I don't think they actually became Wizards of the Coast until like 2000 something or other. Or was it the 90s? I don't remember. Materials scattered among many different products. This makes it very difficult to find what you're looking for. A problem exacerbated by Spelljammer's status as a connected campaign designed like Planescape to connect the big three settings: Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, and Dragonlance. I've been working and leaving. Yeah, so this guy tries to does exactly what I was looking for, to put together all the stuff that exists. I won't go through the minutia here. Oof. Yeah, even like says how long it takes to get between different worlds. And the Rock of Brawl is sort of like the home base sort of setting. And he basically like, it's not exactly clear in the material, so that's kind of where all that comes from. So he basically just makes the case that that's here. This is like the little outpost. So I'm just thinking that I would like to consider like all of this canon, except for certain things. We'll kind of go through them a little bit. And we've got a more visually pleasing map that other people have made that is... Okay, so we can actually just switch right over to that. This thing. Like, you look at this? And this kind of looks like a mess? No. This. You see this? This is made by a dude named Nerek. That is, I think most of this is homebrew. But, I'm gonna take it in for a second. This is a lot. Exactly. Oh, I mean, it's, definitely something like it. Like, as you can see, we have where it really starts here. You got... You got the Realm territory, you got Greyhawk, you got Kryn. Just like that. I think... I don't know where... But the thing is that they're starting to get some inconsistencies. Like, I don't know where these things kind of come from. Like, we've got Casa here. That is where that is. And that here, this connects right up to Realm Space. Or here, it is not quite. And again, the things like these. Like these couple things, like these are, yeah, they are the hack jammer stuff. So this is where I'm going to probably draw most of what I would consider my world from. My worlds, my map from. Okay, this is interesting though. All right, so spheres will just the arcane inner flow is a stable configuration of 12 spheres that includes refuge, pertel, and okay. Arcane inner row or flow. Hey Logan, how's it going, man? It's also connected directly to the triad through realm space. One can travel the arcane inner flow in both directions, but clockwise travel is notably slower. This phlogiston configuration is the center of spelljamming, traffic, and commerce. I don't know if I'd want... Well, maybe. And yeah, it cites the sources here. Dragon Magazine number 36. So these are also all accessible online. Like I could probably, hypothetically, I could go find it real quick. I'm not going to. Buy these all on the Dungeon Master's Guide. At least most of them. Dungeon Magazine number 36. Yes, I think so. Dragon Magazine, Dungeon, or just look up Dungeon number 36. Oh yeah, good. Add a little memoir. Little went hunting for dandelions and cleavers, but to no avail. Collecting marigold seeds and booting up CK3. Nice. Sounds fun. Yeah, I know. It actually, indie classics? I'm doing okay. I could be doing better. Yeah, I don't know if you could even download the... Like, if I could get a hold of them somehow, that would be good. Alright, Arcane Outer Flow is a stable configuration of 100 spheres. It is unknown which spheres are part of the outer flow, but by definition the triad and the inner flow spheres are not. Stable connections in... Okay, so that's... Yeah, so they've got a lot of the 4th edition Dragon magazines and stuff. Well, a couple of them at least. I've already got those downloaded officially. Bit annoying. Spelljammer is not even setting on the website here. Can I even just look up Uh, Dungeon Magazine. Oh. Apparently, download every issue of Dungeon Magazine for free and legally. Neat. This item is no longer available. Oops. Tomorrow's docket is play War Thunder, finish the historic preservation chapter, started on the memoir, then hunt down white poplar seeds and acorns for a pint. Okay. Really got a list there. Adventure lookup. Oh. Number 36. Interesting. All right, maybe I'll go through that some other time. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, we got all this stuff. Compare that to this. This is a lot. This is a lot. And I think most of it is probably homemade by this guy. Or even if it's not, like a lot of these things are probably official in a number of capacities. But not where they're necessarily placed. Like one interesting thing about D&D out here. I think this is actually supposed to be Earth. Maybe I'm wrong. And like the way that everything's mapped here makes it seem like everybody kind of knows about this stuff, but that's probably not even the case, even if like however much of this is canon. And there's some things that this map probably also leave out. I don't even know if, like I was looking at this, this makes me think that it's Dark Sun, that this is Athos, but I don't think that is the case. Well, it kind of just makes you want to go through this a little bit better. The Astromundi cluster, okay, cluster space. That's that thing. Got a lot of stuff in it. Astromundi cluster. A large sphere comprised of asteroid communities. Astromundi is huge, and the sphere holds many competing factions. An Illithid Empire and the Antillan human Medjocracy are the two most powerful. Fully detailed in the box set This is a full-fledged Spelljammer setting. According to canon, only living vessels such as elven manowars, or armadas are able to exit the sphere. And then another thing about this is that he does not actually place the spheres, the worlds that are not clearly connected to something else on the map. Like we've got here Wildspace next to Unknown, and this is the Birthright campaign setting, which is at this point another deep cut of a setting, because it was basically released as a significant setting in D&D, but they never did anything with it after, I think, like 2nd edition. There might have been a number of things that were supporting it, like a number of additional materials, but nothing that they have not had. There's not been a peep about Birthright. This is an interesting campaign setting because it's actually it's more like tactical. It's like there are rules, I believe, that are more about like larger combat between armies, and that you play as a character that has they're like a super human, not even human, because obviously D&D necessarily not a human, but you've got super special powers. And so it's interesting. I wish they would bring it back, but I don't know. I feel like it's even farther out of the realm of possibility than Spelljammer, which is honestly pretty amazing that they brought back Spelljammer. Like that it's a very D&D sort of setting, Spelljammer, but Birthright I think it was created by one dude that I don't think has worked there in a very long time, and it was kind of his baby. And it really, I think it kind of doesn't have quite the same D&D sort of vibe. So I want to keep track of all of these that are that I would hypothetically want to place in my setting. Yeah, that are not on this particular map. I want to see where it actually explains that, though. Wildspace. Birthright. Birthright setting. Can I duplicate this? Can I open this again? Create? No. Copy image. Hold on. Okay. All right. So now I have this map. Oop, I use my... Not be sad. There we go. All right. Maybe add an additional... This is actually a fitting song. Oops. But yeah, that is definitely what I want.
They've been dead by a fingertip. Split apart with 3 BKs, throw to come together to bring them shine. Who's defenders of the weak, using our jet balls to fight, far reaches to see. Rising at the sun, protection is fair. Just the sun. Who knew we belong to? Hands without the enemy at all. Jesus, needs us like rubber. Just brother. The tribal berry.
All right. So I'm just taking notes on what we don't have here. All right. All right, so we got Wildspace. Then we that just contains Birthright. Don't know where he does not know where he wants to put that because there's no source for it. Then we got Casa Space. Yeah, sorry about that little bit of an aside. Okay, we've got Brawl Space. So yeah, this is where he places the like where the Rock of Brawl is, right here. So here we go. Kaz Adar, which is hack space. So yeah, this is something that I don't want to include because it's actually kind of a joke setting. A large populous sphere filled with wide variety of species, Kaz Adar is the hub of the known spheres. Like, partly that name, I just don't like the known spheres. So, like, what? Forgotten Realms, is it known? Greyhawk? Dragonlance, not known, apparently. Like, known spheres. I don't know, man. That name just rubs me the wrong way. It filled with many different people, contains the homeworld of Hackmaster game, and is thoroughly detailed in the Hackmaster supplement. So instantly, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just like Yes, it's whole. It's gonna use white paint in that case. This is what my world is looking like. I was going at it. I don't like the idea of known spheres. All of these are in the Hackjammer setting, so we'll get to them in due time. All right, then we got Ktalaktak, Ultimate Helm. Sphere is dominated by jade insects, and its inhabitants called the Spelljammer Skrull Sing Beast. The sphere is little known to the wider Spelljammer community. So this is... Where is it? Yeah, unknown. Alright, yeah, this is one of the unknown ones. This is from Ultimate Helm. I'm gonna look that up really quick. Oh, the guy sneezed. Actually gonna scoop this a little bit further to the right. Repeated master and immediately became a great power. Nice. There you go. There you go. All right. A little messy, but I think we're working with it. It's working out all right. It's not a spell. I don't know. What was it? Helm something? Got distracted. That's just other things. It's just other worlds that are listed in the setting. Just in D&D at this point. So that's something I appreciate about this. And we got Maestra. Hold on. Let's look up what was that called again. There's a lot of these. We're probably not going to get through all of them tonight. Ultimate Helm. Got a couple of these places apparently. Apparently something is added to it though, and something that it does connect to. Alright, the Ultimate Helm. Alright, it's in one of the novels. The Cloakmaster cycle. Everything's got to be a cycle. I'm gonna look that up though. Everything's got to be a cycle because of damn it. Time. What was it freaking called? What's that fantasy novel series? Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time. That's it. Wheel of Time cycle or whatever. So yeah, what exactly is the Cloakmaster cycle? Series of 6 novels written by multiple authors and published by TSR. So yeah, I mean, officially published by TSR. Which stands for Tactical Strategy Rules. Fun fact. And it was 97, I think, that they were incorporated. Yeah. They became under Wizards of the Coast. So novels are part of the Spelljammer campaign setting, but several of them feature settings and characters from Forgotten Realms. I'm looking this up on the Forgotten Realms wiki. Alright, so I think we can consider that official. It's official enough, I'd say. Let's go ahead and include... Go ahead and include that. Kind of no reason not to. Maybe I'll put all of the novel settings, no pun intended, the novel settings from the novels kind of in their own cluster. Interesting idea. Maybe put them real far aside. Cloakmaster, Cycle, Novel, Ultimate Helm. Darkspace. Darkspace is a bitterly cold sphere. Only the third planet, Varen, is capable of supporting life, but like the... You could have like spell checked this a little bit better. The rest of the spheres, it is barren and lifeless now. The sphere is dominated by a vast number of undead. Source material on Darkspace contradicts itself. The sphere is described as containing only asteroids, and then a couple paragraphs later described as having 9 planets. I mean, an asteroid planet, that's kind of semantic. They're gonna be really big asteroids. There's certain definitions that, in real life, we call a planet. It has to have like a mostly spherical surface. I think it needs to have a consistent orbit, and it has to have a certain mass. The reason why Pluto is no longer considered a planet is because it doesn't have that mass prerequisite. It's too dang small. So it just got dwarf planeted. The Darkspace, that is from an adventure as well. So it's also interesting because it's different from... That's also not a very good name, Darkspace. Pluto indeed cannot... no. Can't live mass. What a shame. So yeah, we got Darkspace up here in the corner here. And it's interesting that it's right next to Fairy Space. We'll be getting to that in a moment. So this makes me think that this is supposed to be the Shadowfell, which I don't know when the Shadowfell... It might have been in 3rd edition that the Shadowfell was like the most official, this is the Dead Realm. Because I think before 3rd edition, they might have mostly had like deities be things like the Greek pantheon, or the Shadowfell. All right, looking that up on the Forgotten Realms wiki. References. What is the first reference to the Shadowfell? In 2004. Oh, wait, no way. Is it actually a 4th edition thing? Two 2001. Okay. Manual of the Planes. All right, that's 3rd edition. I'm just looking at the sources on the Forgotten Realms wiki. There's a lot of sources. They're good about citing their sources. Yeah, I'm seeing this as being a 3rd edition thing, but I don't know if it's quite the realm of death in 3rd edition. Is one of the planes of existence in various cosmological models. So it's not a planet by most definitions, but I don't know, could be. So that'll be, and also it might even just be shadow space, Shadowfell, shadow space. All right, then we got Darmamu. It's from a dungeon magazine. We have very little information on the sphere. It is controlled by the Imperial Elven Fleet. Conducts important trade with the Arcane of Refuge. And is one of the 12 spheres that comprise the Arcane Inner Flow. So that's very interesting to note. Now, this is elf space. So, the thing with elves, like we talked about before, with that last one, last D&D world building thing, was that they have, this is something I've been thinking about. So their capital is in the astral plane, which is outside the realm of like space and time. So I was thinking about how exactly do they access space and time? And so they don't need to have like, all right, here's our capital, and then we move out to the next crystal spheres in the Empire, and then we move out from there, and then from there. Really, they're not bound by any means to like a linear, all right, they are here, so they would want to move to here, and therefore, and then to there. And then then attack the Forgotten Realms. That'd be one hell of a fight. This is like every single hero and lunatic in the entire planes, like, to hang out together and be like, yo, we're gonna fight some elves. So I was like, they get access to all of the places that they can, and they primarily just kind of go to those rather than like bam, bam, bam. And so they would kind of just have outposts and control over worlds just spotty all over the place, because they wouldn't care about this. They would not care about this map. Basically, as far as they care, their map is centered on their capital, and then you can have lines popping out from there to all of the places they connect. And then maybe from there, they might care. Like, this connects to that. Maybe that one doesn't connect directly to their capital. So they would maybe have just like little smaller ones. Possibly. I don't know. That is a thought. But that is very cool. Elven Fleet conducts the important trade with the Arcane of Refuge and is one of the 12 spheres. Yeah. Cool. The Dead Sphere. The Dead Zone. Oh, I just noticed that we were in the middle of an ad, and now it's over. So welcome back. Hold on a moment. I wanna. I want to do that. Huh. No, it's not gonna work so well. Let's leave that that way. Alright, so basically, that's an elf spot. Pretty neat. So I'm curious, Captain Mr. Detail over here, does he include... so he, in his... what are they called? In whatever this. He's got Imperial Elven Fleet right there. That little icon there. There are a number of them around here. Does he have them in Damanin? Or does Damanin even exist here? I'm gonna go to Realm Space, Refuge, Pertel. There, yep, he's got that there. But it's in a very different direction. Which frankly, directions don't mean anything in this. Like as long as like A connects to B, you can have the connection going from A to B be up or down or whatever. So it is interesting that I would love to see if these are actually based on some kind of sources. They might actually be listed in this, but he's not actually given what they connect to. Yeah, anyway, the dead shell. The sphere is a black hole as its primary rather than its fire body, than a fire body. Cute way of saying sun. It appears to be incredibly ancient. 2 of its planets are large Earth bodies, but its third is an asteroid with Juna artifacts on it. I do not know what that means. Skull and crossbows. And then we've got Dragon Space, connects to Unknown. Io's Blood, Council of Worms. Council of Worms setting, I do not know what that is. Imagine calling your solar system Dragon Space. Really? I mean, maybe they're all dragons there. I'm gonna look that up really quick. Council of Worms. Yeah, Council of Worms. Go. Also, not to be confused with the Council of Worms, the thing that Worms, like the city in Germany. Council of Worms. The Council of Worms box set provides all the rules and background material necessary for the State of Emperor adventures with dragon player characters. This was published in '94. What if we don't? It was like people playing as dragons, that's cute, but you know, honestly, that could be cool if everyone's a dragon. Like if you're just like, ooh, I want to be a human fighter. I'll be an elf sorcerer. I want to be a dragon. The Dragonborn? No, dragon. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that wants to be a stupid race. Like, at least it's not like you would be a super lich level 1 where we're starting. So where does Narek put? You put dragon anywhere? But yeah, how much material was actually published for it? I don't know if there was much. Yeah, okay, just like a review. One Rick Swan reviewed the setting in 1995. Dude, where do the years go? I barely even remember 95. I couldn't tell you. But man, that's so long ago. Like, what's Rick Swan doing these days? Is Rick Swan dead? I thought the most recent thing that he did was like in 1995. Where are you, Rick Swan? Oh, wait, hold on. Pen and paper RPG database. No, this is quite the aside. Where is he? When the world needed him most. When you were born 6 years later. Yeah, man, like, it's just a thought, like, this is so far before the internet that it's like now everybody has their Twitter trail, all the things that I'm gonna look up Rick Swan on Twitter. Do you think this guy is like, how old was this man in 1995? Like, he's got to be in like his 70s or something. Rick Swan. I don't think any of these guys are. Wait? Huh? I don't think any of these guys are the Rick Swan that I'm looking at. The one that I'm looking for. Well, a number of Rick Swansons. A very weird aside, but anyway. Yeah, okay, well, Rick Swan said he concluded that the set doesn't lend itself to long campaigns, since Dragon PCs are too disruptive to function in traditional AD&D settings. Precisely. But as a change of pace, the Council of Worms set is a roaring success. Tish. Won the Origins Award for Best Role-Playing Adventure in 1994. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool as a one-off. Where everyone's a dragon, be a dragon. Don't demand that you play as a dragon in regular D&D.
I want magic rings to put on my dragon claws, and magic sword that my dragon can wield with his dragon claws. I want a dragon shield that my dragon can hold in his dragon hands, and dragon armor for his chest, and footsies, and a helmet. Shut up!
Okay, so that's cool. Dragon space. I mean, that could be like a whole world filled with dragons. That feels like that could be an interesting, like, getting there is an interesting setting of itself, like an interesting premise. So yes, I don't think does the world actually have a name. Io's blood. Okay. So Io, for those that aren't in the know, was the original dragon deity, at least in a number of pantheons or whatever, where Thedas did someone actually put did Narek actually put the Dragon Age world in here? Sea of Fire? Pardon me? Dust and Dust Bowl. Oh no, that's the Dust Bowl there, I guess. Yo, my star. I think that's supposed to be. Yeah. See Io's blood, let me know. His blood?
I'm from the blood sphere. Blood sphere for the blood gods. I'm from horror. I'm really scary and cool.
Vodani. That's that whole Vodani Empire. I don't know what their deal is. Oh, an Illithid Dominion. Don't go there. Yikes. Alright, so yeah, I'm not seeing that, so maybe we can plop that down somewhere. Dukagsh connects unknown. This is in Dragon Annual number 1. Number of different adventures. Just a different setting from some adventure, clearly. The distant sphere was originally uninhabited, but following the first unhuman war, the powerful orc Dukagsh led a fleet of orc refugees here and established them on this new planet. They thrived here and transformed under Dukagsh, teaching into the Skro. This is a Skro. This is the Skro home sphere, and virtually no. Come on, guy. How did you confuse N-O no and K-N-O-W no? Like, that's not even an apostrophe sort of issue. Or like one letter. No, that's two. Very different. And virtually no one outside the Skro themselves knows how to find it. That's cool. I like that. So like a whole world of orcs. That's pretty cool. All right. Hidden world of orcs. Groovy. Okay, this is a Hackjammer one. L.I.SEC. Small system of 5 planets orbiting a hot orange sun. Spelljamming is little known in the sphere. Ipruk, the second planet of the system, is populated by humans of Bronze Age technology. So, we haven't really gotten into exactly why I don't want the Hackjammer stuff in here. But, oops. But I think you'll see in due time. Fairy space. Which fairy? He's so pretty. Dominated by the sphere is an unimaginable unimaginably huge tree. The roots of the tree disappear at the bottom of the crystal sphere. The branches and leaves of the tree have their own gravity and hold a virtually inexhaustible air supply. 16 suns hang from certain branches around the tree like fruit. 8 planets are supported on the branches beneath them. So this is cool. It's a very unorthodox sort of sphere. Like, it's not, hey, you got a sun and planets. Nope, this is a freaking tree. The leaves of the tree are constantly shifting and changing positions, effectively creating night and day on the various planets. At the center of the tree is Armen, the capital of fairy space and home of Aelivir, the One King, undisputed ruler of fairy space. Fairy space is home to the fairy races, both good and evil. The darker fairies live on the 4 planets known as Vastdarken. The Vastdarken, Morath, Crag, Biastra, and Mish. Located higher in the tree are the 4 planets of the up good, opposed to the down bad. Genla, Fremore, Agron, and Tiqua. So fairy space, that's also interesting. So we got dark space and fairy space. Dark space is like the Shadowfell, and fairy space is like the Feywild. Like sometimes, yeah, and they're right next to each other here, which is interesting. So I really do wonder, like, this is very different from the Feywild, so I don't know. And like the Feywild and the Shadowfell are said to be like the opposite. Like this is a land of positive energy and this is a land of negative energy. Not saying that everything here is good and everything there is bad, or rather the Feywild and the Shadowfell, but it's like movements and changing chaos in the Feywild, and in the Shadowfell it's a land of drab and death stuff. So yeah, that's cool. Fungo! I remember seeing Fungo. It's where all the fun goes. Right there. We can add that in there. Fungo. 2 Earth planets, an asteroid belt, a water planet, and an air planet. The fungosphere is used as an example of sphere creation in the original Spelljammer box set. It has relatively little detail, but the 2 Earth planets are fairly standard fantasy worlds, with spelljamming civilizations that are at war with each other. Ooh! That's kind of cute. I kind of like the simplicity of that. Got 2 worlds at war with each other. Example sphere at Fungo. Sounds neat. And like as you saw there, it also has that little crossed swords indicating war zone. They know. Eric knew. And so there's no way that thing was ever given canon. Oh yeah, it's next to Charm and Solace. And kind of this unconnected Atlantean is kind of right there. What is that? Little devil looking flow fiends. Yikes. That's cool. I like that. All right. Glow ring sphere. We know very little about this sphere. General Vor of the Scro Tarantula fleet killed the Lich captain of a pyramid ship. That's a lot of fun words to put next to each other. Before he joined the Tarantula fleet, it's possible that the glow ring sphere has or had a Spelljammer-aware Egyptian-esque culture. Interesting. Because that, let's go and put that down there. Little known. Egyptian-esque. Because, let's go ahead and bring up maybe another one of these other... One second. There are a couple other maps that are based on Nerix here. That are prettied up a little bit. And sadly, they're not on a PDF, but okay, so this one, let's see if I can bring it up. Okay, we're gonna crowd this thing with a number of different window captures. Mm-mm-mm. Hold on, let's see if I maybe open them up in a different thing, because that is... Open with... Let's open this... Oh, we could do it that way. That'll work, but I would rather it be something else. But yeah, we can take a look at it this way first. As you can see, this is a more detailed version of our bigger one on the right. Yeah, it doesn't have quite the same number of worlds. You likely cut the fat. You have things that were less certain. Oh look, that's where Cthulhu lives. And he also gave it a good bit more... Yeah, exactly. Space stuff. It looks a lot spacier. I only bring up this one first because this one's older. Yeah, as you can see, it's got... Yeah, it's much more closely based on... As you can see, we've got, yeah, I got gray, Buster. Whoop, that's everything. Buster. This one is Solaris, but this one does not. There's nothing come off a refuge there. No very large one there. Our friend Soul does not live in this one, it seems. He only lives over here. You even see Elven Sphere. The Elven thing there. So yeah, the reason I bring that up is because that's this one over here. Kind of a different sort of rework. Oh yeah, so this one we've got up here is by a dude goes by Boozehound. And this one over here paint.net. This one's from a dude by Devil Guy. He did something cool that I appreciate, is that, see here, where we have Solaris over here, he changed that. It is now Ixalan. See that one there? Ravnica. Dominaria. Any big nerds out there? Anybody know those names? And you got Zendikar. These are settings in Magic the Gathering. and these have some semi-official conversions into D&D settings. So I forget what exactly. Okay, so what's his first name? I'm forgetting his first name, but Wyatt is his last name. He was one of the main designers for D&D in, I think, like 3rd, definitely 4th edition, maybe as early as 2nd. So he was an important designer in D&D until he was eventually moved over to work on Magic the Gathering. Same company and all. And so then he actually made a number of PDFs that were released that kind of brought their settings into. So if you want to play D&D in those Magic the Gathering settings, he made that happen. Like, you could do that. He did that for Zendikar, Dominaria, Ixalan, which is really cool. I love this one because it's like a Caribbean and Mesoamerican setting that basically the factions are like Caribbean pirates, like a Spanish-like empire that are all vampires, and that there are like indigenous Mexican folks that are I forget what race they are, but it's really cool. I think it's really good. You just look up Ixalan D&D and you will find it free PDF. I know they were so popular that there were some official releases of Magic settings that, which one were they? That are in D&D. Looks like, is Strixhaven one? I think that's one. Hold on, I actually just have them in a file, or at least a number of the free ones. So it's like, some of these they're semi-official. They're called Plane Shift. Amonkhet is the Egyptian one, which is kind of what made me think of this. I don't think that is actually included on here. You may have. Yeah, Dominaria. Innistrad was the first one that he did, which is a more horror setting. Ixalan. Kaladesh. So it doesn't look like he includes that. So that could be kind of a cool thing to do for the one that was mentioned here. The glowing spheres, that could be the Amonkhet one. That could be a neat thing to do. Yeah, I'll add a note to that. This says that how I want to put them. And also, these are like, this was made before they included, before the creation of Eberron, which is third. Eberron and Dark Sun. I think we're both. Is Dark Sun? I love Dark Sun. Dark Sun's so cool. I think Eberron was that a 4th edition thing? Yeah, Dark Sun was 2nd edition and was skipped for 3rd. Okay, there was Eberron in 3rd edition. So this guy made this definitely like, despite having uploaded this probably in like 2012. This was not updated for about more than a decade. All right, so once again, and a pyramid ship. That's very Stargate. Or Modern History Channel. Aliens. Great Space. Okay, let's see. What is this? This is just from an adventure. Great Space is a pretty big name, pretty fancy name to give it for just like a one-off 2-page adventure. Great Space is a prosperous sphere dominated by the spelljamming culture of the planet Thalassius. Its people are devoted to the Greek pantheon, and they are very culturally scientifically advanced. Interesting. The sphere is ruled by House Shambrath and supports a great deal of spelljamming traffic. Great Space engineers developed the Shriek Ship and the Hummingbird. It is well detailed in the primary sphere in the crystal spheres. Interesting. We don't need that one. Not right now, at least. So that one's just right there, right next to Realm Space. It's like when they say advanced technology, I don't quite know what that means. That could mean a number of things. Okay, so yeah, that one is placed there. Gray Space. Yeah, this is where Greyhawk is. This is one of the primary spheres in Spelljammer and home to the first TSR campaign world. Gray Space is a geocentric sphere with Earth at the center of the system. Interesting. And its moons, Kull and Rainy, are inside a massive asteroid field, the Grinder. Oh, that's going to be dangerous. The other planets lie outside the Grinder, which separates the sphere into inner and outer systems. Gray Space is part of the Triad. The Grinder is specified as a potential Rocket Brawl location. Which, I would say no. I mean, although, that's not the worst thing, because apparently this just kind of lead out to a whole different bunch of other things. But I do like the idea of it being right here. At least the way that it's spread out like this makes me feel like this is a good place to, alright, go out, go adventure into the unknown over here. Rather than having a bunch of things that are already noted over here. Like, Rocket Brawl is a good place as a jumping off point for space adventures. Gauntlet Space. That's right there. So this is going to introduce us to this blob. A young human culture, the Galatians, inhabit the sphere, but they are ruled by evil dragons. The dragons, in turn, are ruled over by the Vodani Empire. Volcaran. Emperor Volcaran. Does he say anything about the... Vodani. Lost space. Here we go. All spheres exist in a stable configuration of spheres, all connecting to each other. My voice is getting a little... eh. The Vodani have conquered these spheres since the current emperor Volcaran took the throne centuries ago. Many of the spheres have few or no inhabitants, however. The spheres are all these here. The exact location of this configuration of 12 spheres is uncertain, but there are definitely connections between the configuration of castle space, front space. Yeah, so it's probably this connects up to that, which is a little confusing because these are not like intersections, they're just overlapping. It's like space doesn't exist here. Alright. Maybe look them up a bit more later. I want to look them up now a little bit. Alright. The Vodani Empire. A vast and aggressive realm in the phlogiston spanning 12 crystal spheres, it was the largest and mightiest empire in the region of the prime material plane, known to the inhabitants of realm space. In the mid-14th century, an attempted Vodani invasion of realm space, gray space, and Kryn space triggered the conflict that became known as the War of the Spheres. So I'm not sure why this is like a whole glot over here. No pun intended. Like maybe they are like just not connected by phlogiston? Like the rivers of stuff? Alright, but that's interesting. I'll keep that in mind as a thing. Gorth space. Planet Gorth is the only habitable planet in the sphere and is covered with lush and ancient forests. There is no known sentient life on Gorth. The sphere is claimed by Vodani Empire, which maintains some ships and bases in the sphere. There. Heart space. Space is where the heart is. The broken sphere. Named for its bloated crimson red. Sun that expands and contracts regularly as if it were one giant heart. The sphere is most noted for the planet Crescent. Crescent really is a crescent, a curved half circle of a world. Excuse me. Life exists in the middle curve. The outside curve is rugged and inhospitable. In the city of Compact on Crescent is the Great Archive, one of the largest centers of knowledge in the spheres. Crescent is a theocracy devoted to Maruk, master of all knowledge. It is protected by the Crescent Peace Force, which uses gray-painted WASP ships for patrol space. Patrols flying the flag of the CPF, a white field and a crescent that frames a six-pointed star. Visitors are only permitted to land at Compact. Artspace has at least two other planets. Loom, an ovoid planet that is most distant from the primary, and Starfall, the next planet out from Crescent. Artspace's sphere walls are 16 permanent portals. I don't quite know what to make of that last little bit. Let's skip this song. Cool. I'm guessing that's just Crescent Patrol Force. Right, what that stands for? Kind of weird that it just doesn't actually tell you. Or Compact Patrol Force. Oh no, it actually does say. I'm stupid. Crescent Peace Force. Alright. Earth Space. Read this one before, it's cool. Earth Space is a very different crystal sphere. It has no planets. Instead, the inside of the sphere itself is the ground. So it's kind of like being inside a Dyson sphere. This provides it with more living space than any other sphere. It is dominated by megafauna, planetary scale creatures that walk through the sphere. The footprint of at least one megafauna was measured at 130 miles long. Kind of makes you think of Xenoblade. Portals from the phlogiston are actually gates, so ships entering the sphere do not disturb the ground. The sphere likely has everything imaginable somewhere in it. But spelljamming aware Rastipides, and Falmadarath have been confirmed to live within it. The gnomes of Iron Peace and the Elven Imperial Navy have both visited the spheres more than once. It is renowned as the home of the Fowl, known as 169. It has a sun at its center. The atmosphere doesn't extend all the way to the center after 2 hours plus of upward flight. All space is reached. The sun of the sphere is dark over half, so that day and night do exist in the sphere. So that's cool. Earth space, right down there. Let's take another look at this. How do you actually... Okay, here's the Vodani Empire. There's Vodani right there. The weird. Ofu, Gorth, yeah, right there. I'm trying to see where it actually stops on this guy's map. That's Selzar, which is right. That one. So I think everything's just kind of all of these colors, kinda. Not Faraba, apparently, though. Fourth flow, Gallop throw, flow, Radiant flow. Okay. So I like that. I like Herd Space. That's neat. Hero Space. And a lot about this one. This very unique sphere has 9 planets, each revolving around its own sun. Each sun is a different color, ranging from white to dark green. The sphere is controlled by the Rational Order of Magistrates, who have a very large Spelljammer Navy, and are headquartered on the moon Borden, which revolves around the planet Geneva, like Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Only heroes are allowed to live within the sphere, and there are settled on various planets according to their alignment. Gondoran, the lawful good world, is the headquarters of the Order of the Chalice, and Darkseed, like Darkside, the lawful evil world, is rumored to be headquarters on the X Pit. Hero Space. Interesting. This is a weird cluster right here. And the known spheres. The Kofu sphere is an anomaly among the known spheres. The system is completely solid, built with black crystal and shell material. Oh yeah, it's known sphere. That's its own thing. The planets of the system are actually just huge air bubbles within the medium, and each of the 3 major bubbles has a small star at its center. Portal tunnels open at random between the bubbles. It is inhabited by Kofu elves, who look much like Drow but are very peaceful. They have been conquered by the Vodani Empire, which maintains some bases on this odd sphere. That's right there. Yeah, right there. Alright, Corv Space. Polyhedron. What exactly is polyhedron? The Elven Imperial Navy controls the 3 inner planets of the system Corvata. Yeah, it's unknown where this is. Okay, so we want to add that to the list. The sphere is less settled than Dar-Namen. In addition to elves, there are large populations of humans, Gif, gnomes, and illithids. To compound matters, several Neogi clans have taken up residence at the edges of the sphere and have begun making life less pleasant for the natives. The sphere is bustling with Spelljammer trade, however. Elf. Imperial Elf controlled. Corv Space. Alright, we got an ad starting up here soon. I want to keep going. I want to keep looking at these and working on these notes. I mean, I could do it off stream, but I want to do it on stream. Alright, so I'm going to take a break, get more water, because my throat is getting scratchy. So we'll just go ahead and be back in a couple minutes. See you soon. Running into that. Be back soon. Don't you go nowhere.
Let me take a dive in this melody so I can tell you about this cutie underwater queen. She got a sparkle like a 14-karat diamond and a body so bad, man, that thing should be a felony. Moving like a wave now, swimming so seductive, all the fishes wanna taste now. But I think she like me cause she only looks my way, got me frozen in one place like, man, what do I say? First time that I saw her, I was swimming up the stream to meet the Zoras. Talked to the king and he said that was her daughter. Maybe one day she can hold the mess of soul. Is in my heart that I should follow. Losing my hand like the dude from Sleepy Hollow. Give her my love or I think I'll let her borrow. Tyra Banks underwater's top model. Princess Ruto, Princess Ruto, Princess Ruto. angel from the ocean, but if you know Princess Bruto, Princess Bruto, she might just be the one for me. I never thought I'd see someone so beautiful. But how would it work though? She's not even human. I mean, I never had anyone so into me before. It's almost like I'm drowning in my own sorrows. What do I do? Every time I come, she always get excited. She love my swagger and she likes the way I'm fighting. She watch my moves, but then I watch her too. I'm seasoned from my eyes, the way I stare at you. Is in my heart that I should follow. Losing my hand like the dude from Sleepy Hollow. Give her my love or I think I'll let her borrow. Tyra Banks, underwater's top model. Princess Bruto, Princess Bruto, Princess Bruto, the angel from the ocean. But if you know Princess Bruto, Princess Bruto, she might just be the one for me.
All right, we are back. Spice. A line so ridiculous that Tim Curry could barely keep it together. Tim Curry, of all people. Alright, so this is in Polyhedron. Just what exactly is that? Is that an official publication? Is that actually official material? Several publications are escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space! Alright, Polyhedron 1, 27, A World of Your Own, Island Campaigns, Change Heroes, Change Adventures, Roger E. Moore, Bond? Suggests placing the rock in the... What exactly is Polyhedron? Soul space, just Earth. Yeah. Located far away from any major rivers. This was only recently discovered by an elven man-o-war. Only artifact level magic, such as Spelljammer helms, functions here, and the spheres physics differ from the standard Wildspace spheres. This is the sphere of the Space 1889. It is recommended the game masters think very carefully before adding the sphere to their campaigns. So, yeah. Planet Earth. Yeah, I definitely would not want to have that, because that's weird. What is Polyhedron here? Spider space. Spiders? The idea of projecting across the spheres, but nothing in the setting describe what would prevent the game master from using it as a sphere. I think I've got a mosquito bite here that I'm itching. All right, so I'm looking up what exactly Polyhedron magazine is. Magazine targeting consumers of role-playing games, and originally this is not official, I don't think. Polyhedron News Zine. Oh no, it was the official publication. No, okay, role-playing gamers is a RPGA. All right, interesting. Publication ceased during the buyout of okay, hold on. Buyout Wizard of the Coast with no issues, released from November 1996 until October 1997. After October 97 was published bi-monthly until May 2003, and from June 2003 to August 2004 it was released monthly. The majority of issues were published by TSR. Okay. So I would consider that mostly canon in that case. And acceptably canon. It was even merged with Dungeon Magazine eventually. Sadly, Dungeon Magazine is just defunct. Yeah, it was done after 4th edition. Oh yeah, and apparently TSR published. Yeah, TSR published Dungeon Magazine. And Will Wheaton apparently did some stuff in Dungeon Magazine to mixed reception, apparently. Oh, you know, you're good on Will Wheaton for just like doing stuff. Props to Will Wheaton in general, you know, doing his thing. Okay, let's see. Yeah. All right, so we're looking at core of space here. Elf controlled. So I would not be opposed to putting them next to the other known elf controlled space. The Dammon. That would not be a bad one to just kind of stand off of there. I would probably move these two to like here. They're gonna be connecting to gray space and realm space, but not to any of these. Or anything else around there. That doesn't, the connections here don't get confusing. Anyway, this seems like a cool thing. That Kraken space. That's one of these up here in the Vodani Empire. Kraken space has no planets, just many live world asteroids. Live world? Live world? Again, semantics in like worlds and asteroids. The entire crystal sphere is filled with breathable air. It is inhabited by the Kraken or the Kra, who appear as slender, semi-transparent, winged humanoids of unearthly beauty. They live in huge floating biospheres. They have been conquered by the Vodani Empire, which maintains garrisons here. Kreen space. So it is in the Thri-Kreen of Athos. The crystal sphere is dominated by Ziktikil and Thri-Kreen. Most of the fauna of this legendary sphere is insectoid. So it's interesting that this is actually mentioned as in relation to Thri-Kreen of Athos, but this is not Athos. I think we're probably gonna get to Athos, aren't we? Probably gonna be somewhere here. I mean, since this mentions Athos here, there's gonna be an Athos space or something, though not clearly not. Yeah, clearly not the that would have been first if it was called Athos space, or early, at least early in this, if it was Dark Sun space. There's a gnat buzzing around, or a fruit fly. Most fauna. Most fauna is insectoid. Grid space. little introduction. This is Dragonlance. This is the home sphere of the Dragonlance campaign setting. Kryn space is part of the triad, but poses some problems for DMs, notably the steal money standard of Kryn and Kryn's disappearance from the sphere at the start of the blah 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 blah. It is the original sphere of Kender and Tinker Gnomes. Eldon Moore, hero of the Cloakmaster cycle, begins his journey in Kryn. Steal money standard, like, whatever. Alright, then we got another mysterious one here, another novel. Lorpulan Space. The wolf people of Mephesk dominate this sphere. They travel through the sphere in ships built of ivory and bronze. They name the Spelljammer Zalabrian, the swimmer. The sphere is otherwise little known. Okay. Lorpulan Space. Wolf people. Little else known. Alright, Lost Ones sphere. Oh, why are they lost? Spelljammer Clockwork Horrors. The home sphere of the Clockwork Horrors. That's interesting. The Clockwork Horrors, I'm pretty sure are in like the 5th edition monster manual. Lost Space. Boston Space? Nobody, obviously, Kryn right there. Yeah, Kraken Space hanging out right there. Probably a bit of a misnomer, it seems. Lost Space. A seemingly deserted sphere filled with ruins of titanic past battles and civilizations. The Vodani Empire claims the sphere, and Vodani military forces search through the ruins for lost magic. Right there. The Maelstrom is a stable configuration of spheres within a spiraling circle of phlogiston rivers, which all circle Fiatite. These flow rivers produce an effect that resembles a terrestrial ocean maelstrom. You know, it's like, these are not bad ideas in Hacker Jam, but I don't want them to be... But I'm firstly making a map of officially, or at least semi-officially published materials. We can add in Hacker Jam later if we really want. I probably won't put them where they are. I really like the idea of this being the frontier, you know? Like the Independence, Missouri, before you go off on your Oregon Trail. The Maelstrom. Let's erase that sucker. Morag Space. Shadow Space, Realm Space, and Gray Space. Now this you could plop up right there too. And these two you can plop like right there and there. Anyway, goblins return. Where'd they go? Ages ago, Morag space is infested by gammaroids. They ate all the planets over several centuries. One of the last gammaroids ate a primary witchlight marauder at the end of the first Unhuman War, leading to the gammaroid's death. Today, this is the Skrull-dominated sphere. They have turned the dead gammaroid into base that controls multiple Skrull and mercenary fleets. I need to figure out what a Skrull is. Special note. Players travel to Morag space and shadow space from either gray space or realm space. Alright, so it doesn't necessarily need to be both. It could be. Mystara space. Mystara space is home to the Mystara, Known World, Hollow World, and Red Steel settings. Wow. A lot of settings there. Physics of the sphere differ from that of standard wild space, especially concerning gravity. Known world. What are... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look up Mystara though. Yeah, it was the quote-unquote basic version of D&D throughout the 80s and 90s. Most adventures published in the basic edition of D&D take place in the known world, quote-unquote. A central continent that includes a varied patchwork of both humans and non-human realms. So, this was kind of like the fourth edition sort of quote-unquote generic setting. Not even quote-unquote. The fourth edition setting. The Dawn War setting, I think is what they call it. And so they abandoned Mystara for that. And then by 5th edition, they were like, you know what, let's just do Forgotten Realms as being the main thing. Kind of what everybody's more into anyway. Apparently the Blackmoor setting was retconned to exist in Mystara's distant past. Mystara, man, what if we brought that back? I don't know, Hollow World or Red Steel. Is Hollow World like an Underdark thing before they made the Underdark kind of ubiquitous? You know, a Hollow World is I started a Hollow World with a habitable surface on its interior called the Hollow World. The world is lit by an eternal red sun at the center of Mystara. It serves as a cultural museum preserving the societies that have become extinct in the outer world. Okay. Weird. Yeah, Blackmoor. The most recent, yeah, I mean, there was a video game. Shadow over Mystara. Oh. Mystara setting. Next space. My necks! Right down there. Why not plop that right there? I don't know. Once again, does not matter, but it would be kind of cool if you could actually have Logiston that like merge together. So, a very strange sphere that has no sun, no stars, and no sun. Just one small air world and a central planet surrounded by a dust cloud. The sphere is only 1 day across, and inside the dust cloud, 24 stars circle the small planet 3,000 feet above the surface. The name Nex means violent and death. That is, and this is a forbidden sphere. Old histories claim explorers were attacked by magic and could reform entire planets, entire systems. That sounds like a Star Trek sort of episode. Going to explore the next space. Spock has informed me of the mystery of next space. We plan on solving that mystery. Then we got Weon space. So yeah, this is the mystical birthplace of the Spelljammer. Interesting. Yeah, there's more to this than let's on Pessar space. Oh, that's one of these. Yeah, another uninhabited sphere claimed by the Vodani Empire. The sphere is filled with asteroids and small planets. Many Vodani mining colonies and battle stations can be found in the sphere. Neat. Path space. Planet Devis in Path space was the first planned destination for the gnomish exploration ship Unquenchable after its departure from Kryn space. So, right there. Because it is most likely a hub of Spelljammer traffic, and it's connected to both Kryn and Brawl. It is likely a likely candidate as the spheres of Astrelon Barara and the Citadel of the Keepers of the Flame. Pearls. These little weirdos down there. A stable configuration of 6 unnamed spheres that are so close together that a distance less than their own diameter separates them one from another. This produces a spectacular view in the phlogiston. Neat. And here we go. We got Bioite, aka the Twilight Sphere. Hack Gemmer. The small star system has 5 worlds orbiting Theos, a bright golden sun. A broad asteroid belt divides the inner and outer worlds. The sphere is very active with spelljamming traffic and trade, and most standard races and creatures can be found in it, especially dwarves, elves, orcs, and humans. Bioite is a gateway to the entire group of spheres called Maelstrom. And it's gone. Pertel. Doesn't, yeah, they got this one down here. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, yeah, this one has the maelstrom. Hold on. Did any... Is Hyrule something else? No. Alright, Pertel is a sparsely inhabited frigid sphere. It has 2 planets, Arkan and Century, and 2 asteroid belts. The innermost asteroid belt is a thick shell of asteroids that completely encloses the sphere's cold red sun. The sphere's primary port is Skyport, a disk of earth and stone that orbits Arkan. The sphere is most infamous for the Sea of Sorrow, a sargasso where dozens of ships have met their doom.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Cool. Prime space. There's little canon material on this crystal sphere, but it does have a mercantile outpost near the edge of the sphere, whose merchants accepted a nautiloid vessel with no questions asked. So it's kind of, oh, this is right there. Yeah, I mean that's it's a thing. The song's a thing. Then realm space. Next up. Got a lot of planets in there. Or rather, planets and ports. This is the home sphere of the Forgotten Realms campaign setting and one of the Triad. The main planet, Toril, also contains the Mastika, Karatur, and Zakara settings. It is the most detailed sphere aside from the Astromundi cluster, and has many different fiction connected connects to Spelljammer. Fiction connections. It is an important sphere with a great deal of Spelljammer traffic and trade. The Tears of Selûne are specified as a potential Rock of Brawl location in several products. Weird. Red Eye. We're taking the Red Eye. The most deserted, dangerous sphere. Red Eyes have 2 fire worlds and is littered with space debris. It has often been a battleground and it lies between human and Illithid dominated space. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and find that. It's a big one. Yeah, right here. Man. Yeah, Illithid Dominion right there. Look at that guy. This is a goofy guy. What does he mean? Humanoids. Thanks. Who would have guessed? I guess that's just a way of representing, hey, it's between both it and human space. Did I miss Ash Space? Should be one of the first ones. Okay, that's kind of its own thing. A massive intrasphere war is being waged by the sphere's major inhabitants: orcs, ogres, beholders, mind flayers, neogi, and gagwallers. A human culture once existed here, but has been conquered by the other races. It is one of the known spheres. Astromundi cluster. Large sphere comprised entirely of asteroid communities. Astromundi is huge, and the sphere holds many competing factions: an Illithid Empire and the Antillan human medocracy are the two most powerful. Fully detailed in the box set. That's cluster space. That one. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's get rid of Ash Space. It's all gone. Gonna be getting rid of you as well, and then you are gonna be wide open for whatever I feel like putting over here. Refuge. This is an arcane controlled and one of the greatest ports in the spheres. Refuge is both the name of the sphere and its primary port. Refuge is a moon. It orbits a large planet called Below that is off limits to travelers. The outermost planetoid is a small asteroid known as Welcome, where ships must first stop before heading into refuge. The sphere is the primary source of arcane spelljamming helms and vessels. It is also part of the arcane inner flow. Alright, Salazar space. It's one of these again. The Vodani Empire claims the sphere, but has no bases or ships within it. The sphere is very strange. One small water planet at its center of the system, surrounded by 8 fiery stars that roll around the inside of the crystal sphere. The stars occasionally pass through each other with a fiery explosion. There is a magic dead sphere travels by. This is a magic dead sphere. Travels by psionics or physical flight. The natives are huge, immortal, sentient balls of water. Volcaran, the Vodani Emperor, managed to destroy one, and on this basis claims the sphere. Sea of Shadows, this sucker right here. Sea of Shadows is a famous magic dead Sargasso that lies in the phlogiston near Kryn space. It is a region of swirling purple mists studded with red radiances that grow, pulse, and fade away randomly. It is filled with undead shadows. And then we got Shadow Space, not to be confused with Dark Space. This very small sphere is surrounded in the phlogiston by thick black clouds with only a few clear paths for entry. It has a red pyramid-shaped sun and 9 oddly shaped planets, but none of the planets move. I wonder, what is the deal with the guy that wrote this? Confusing no, N-O-N-K-N-O-W-N, but none of the planets move. You mean none? None. How do you do that? Like, I could understand, like, missing a letter, like N-O-N, and forgetting the E or something. Or, like, maybe even missing, like, any of the letters. Even one would make more sense than known. Alright, all celestial bodies in this sphere are immobile. Speaking Pegasi of Min are the most popular species in the sphere. Special notes: the players travel to Morag space and Shadow space from either Gray space or Gray Realm space. Alright, so that is once again uncertain if it is from both Gray space or Realm space and Realm space, or one or the other. Soul space, yeah. I'm not even gonna bother with this. Not even gonna bother putting that one down. Spider space. On a Spelljammer conversion to 3rd edition, the conversion rejected the idea of crystal spheres, and nothing that saying describes what the system of major race. Part of Spelljammer conversion to 3E. I really don't have much else to say other than, like, UNT and Fomorians? Those are weird. And Drow, man. Alright, Steel Star. Is named after its sun, which emits a dull gray light, according to Kelban Aronson. It is the home of the legendary ogre Spelljammer fleet. Oh wow, the ogres are said to be building several Archimperator mammoth-class vessels in the sphere. Home to ogre Spelljammer fleet. Yikes. Taru Utu is Taurus space. Also Steel Star. Is that somewhere around here? Can I like control F Steel Star? Oh, right there. Convenient. I mean, it says human dominated for whatever reason, humanoid. I mean, I guess that's just a note to say that humanoids live there. Like ogres. This is not like a mini human empire right here between the three of them. Alright, so the main planet is ruled by a Romanesque empire of Minotaurs. Their primary foes are Avriel, winged elves, who inhabit a water planet studded with islands. All right, then we got Thessia space right there. Gargantuan and covered in dense jungle vegetation. Even the great oceans of Thessia are thick with seaweed on the surface. The natives are a race of shambling mound-like plantmen. Thessia space is claimed by the Vodani Empire, and they have a few hundred satellite stations hovering above the surface of Thessia, but nothing on the surface of the planet. They really lucked out with all the planets around them, all the systems around them, that they were rather easily dominated. And the Triad, the stable configuration of 3 spheres, including realm space, Kryn space, and gray space. It can be seen as the homeland of the Spelljammer setting. Really? I wouldn't say that. True space. The immense sphere contains Penumbra, a massive artificial planet that was once the heart of the Illithid Empire. Physics in the sphere match those of the real world, so most Spelljammers which enter the sphere unprepared are destroyed. Huh. Dawn of the Overmind. I'm guessing that's a novel? Planet. That's a very interesting note to make. That's a very bold thing to claim the once the heart of the Illithid Empire. Oh no, it's from a magazine, it looks like. TSR. Well, it's mentioned that it exists, apparently. Vergan space. Planets of the Vergan system. Right there. Have been at war for centuries. The Vodani keep these planets divided and at war to maintain their control of the sphere. Vista space. Sounds lovely. Little is known about the sphere, but the huge fire world Garash, populated by the sentient ships called the Zat, is here. Oh, right there. Interesting. And the Vodani Empire. 12 spheres exist in a stable configuration of spheres. What does that mean exactly? All connecting to each other. Oh, okay. So it's like one massive circle. Really? So yeah, I mean, it should have like a bunch of lines all connecting to each other. But that would be kind of a mess. So I guess that's why he did this. I don't think anybody else does it as it is described there. It doesn't look like it. Stable configuration of spheres. The Vodani have conquered these spheres since their current emperor Volcaran took them. Yeah, we've already read this, but many of the spheres have there are no inhabitants. However, spheres are all of them. The exact location of this configuration of 12 spheres is uncertain, but they're definitely connected between the configuration of Casa space, realm space, gray space, and Kryn space. Perfect size cursor. I feel like I would just move that to like here and this kind of down there. Maybe that up to there as well. Oregon Shadow Space. Yeah, anyway, they conquered all those things. There's definitely connections between the configuration. That's a space, from space, gray space. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's direct, though, right? But I mean, I guess they do conquer all the things that they've run into. It's not like they're really being blocked by necessarily something else. I would possibly want to like find a couple distinct worlds, like maybe 1, 2, even 3, or maybe 4 if we're going to be including connecting the Casa. Was that even saying directly? Alright, so another one in there. This is the nearest sphere to the Vodani space. They have thoroughly colonized it. Vodanica means New Vodan. Each of the 5 planets here are all habitable, are all populated as either Earth or Toril, and most Vodani Empire's economic and military might comes from this space. This is the nearest sphere to the Vodani space? Oh, okay. It's saying each of those planets are as big as. Okay. Over the centuries, over 4 centuries ago, the sun of the sphere went nova and destroyed the primary planet of its civilization. The gods fled into the Eye of the Gods, which they entrusted to Volcaran, who was to release them after the explosion. But Volcaran betrayed the gods and instead established the Vodani Empire, first conquering the sphere and then the nearest elven spheres. Interesting. Note, because the gods have been barred from this space, no priestly magic functions here. And Waspace. It is known, we know almost nothing about Waspace except it contains Waypoint, which is a desert world. Cool. Yeah. And Winter Space. Right there. The cold sphere is filled with tiny worlds and moonlets. 2 of its worlds are quite famous. Redol is a center of Spelljammer trade and commerce, as well as the site of ancient ruins associated with the Juna. Hold on, I'm gonna need to look them up. Alright, the Juna. The Juna were an ancient lost race of Wildspace, also known as the Keepers, Zookeepers, or the Lost Gods. They were thought by some to be responsible for the seeding of many of the sentient races across the crystal spheres of the multiverse. It was postulated that Juno were also the creators of the Spelljammer itself and the terraformers of the planet Rattle. Armistice is a planet upon which the Imperial Elven fleet imprisoned Gralnak, Longtooth, and its combined goblin fleet near the end of the First Unhuman War. The elves maintain a strict blockade of the planet. In addition to Rattle, there is a Spelljammer port called Remagin on the planet Weist. So, elves hanging out there. I should say there's a fleet there, but it don't. And we got this one. All four in Ithric. All four planets are gas giants with extensive habitable moon systems, and each has become the haven for a different pantheon. Greek, Sumerian, Japanese, and Aztec, respectively. Four pantheons are locked in a vicious religious war. Nyogi and mind flayers travel the system buying slaves taken in the religious wars. Human, elf, dwarf, gnome, orc, and more live on the moons, but the racial pantheons have no hold here. Bum bum bum. You gone. Alright. Zalani space. Inhabited by a black gargoyle-like race called the Zalani. The Zalani are basically a peaceful race, and the Zalani Empire fell in a matter of days. Is it really an empire if it was peaceful? All the Vodani vessels carry a distinctive bug. To blow it away. Winged appearance of Zalani craftsmen, and the vessels themselves are masterpieces of workmanship. Any planets or worlds that appear in various published D&D works that do not have the crystal sphere specified. It is relatively easy to place these planets within whichever crystal sphere the game master desires. Many of these planets come from the practical planetology, but not every planet listed in that work appears here. Practical planetology. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Some of those planets, such as such as Armistice, are actually placed in a specific sphere in other Spelljammer sources. Only SJR4 practical planetology worlds which are not placed in a sphere in other sources appear below. Wow. Quite a few. I'm gonna take a look at this book. But yeah, that's all the things that are listed on this map here. This, as it stands, will be what I would consider canon, and I would definitely change this up. I mean, because how would you even draw 12 lines connecting to all of these? Like, make a circle and then like a billion lines to all of them. I might change stuff up. Yeah, this is the point. Like, this is what is canon. This map here. This is the point at which I will likely start to edit things myself. All right, but yeah, I think I will call it here though. Tomorrow I'll be playing some Pokemon Coliseum. Oh, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Did an ad start? Did an ad end? I don't even know. Have a good night, everybody. Bye. Wait, hold on, let me just check. Did an ad? Oh, ad starting. Okay. Have a good night. Bye.